Hello there. This is a CS with DWP, and welcome to Warframe Wiki Wednesday, where once a week we cover a given topic, what seems to be a hot topic. And this particular week seems like the topic was shield baiting. There were quite a few videos that came out where it was God this and Priestess that and shield gate this and blah blah that. So I figured I might as well go ahead and cover the Warframe Wiki Wednesday on shield gating. A little bit of inconsistencies, so I thought I'd clear those up as well. So let's go on ahead and get it started. What's going on, Cap? What's going on, Snowy? How you guys doing? Let's go on ahead and jump right into it. So shields are invisible barriers that absorb incoming damage and protects the player from taking health damage against enemy attacks. Unlike health, shields regenerate after a few seconds of not taking damage, making them naturally replenishing defense. In addition, Warframe's shields have an innate 25% damage reduction from all sources of damage, one of which that is excluded from that list of sources of damage is true damage. If you do take true damage for whatever reason, then you are not immune to, your shield's not going to help with that. But all other damage, yes. Everything else is gets a 25% damage reduction. All Warframes except Nidus and Inaros possess shields whose values can be seen in the upper right corner of the player's UI as a blue number, with each Warframe possessing different amounts of maximum shields. Corpus units also make extensive use of shielding along with certain bosses. When a player's shields are depleted, the player's HUD will briefly flash blue in red lines, and the player will be surrounded by a red aura. A pulsing blue outline will envelop the player once the shields begin to recharge. So let's go on ahead and show off what that looks like. I'm sure we all know what it looks like, but I just want to make sure we're all on the same page. So, all right. So look at the player. All right. I don't know if you saw the little blue there, but. Alright, let's keep an eye on Hildren. And booyah. Saw the little blue effect. That's when you know your shields are coming back. I'm going ahead and jump into the other chat. Alright, cool. So there's that. Effects. I'm not going to get too deep into effects. I know why people are here. It's mainly for the shield gating. Let me just touch on the types. Now, there are 3 types of shields. There's really only 2 that you'll deal with predominantly as a Tenno or as a Warframe or as the player. And that is regular shields and then proto shields. So just to cover it really quickly, regular shields are weak against cold, impact, and magnetic. They are resistant to puncture and radiation. Magnetic being the highest and cold and impact being the, they're still pretty good. They're at 50%. Additional damage you get from those. For proto shields, this one is a little more staggered, I guess. So very similar is impact, but not cold. Instead, with proto shields, it's actually toxin that is weak to and magnetic, and it's resistant against corrosive, heat, and puncture. Right, where magnetic being 75%, all the resistances are 50%. And actually, impact and toxin are really weak at 15% and 25%. So if you're going against like a gigantic arachnoid, let me show you what I mean by that. So you have your standard shield, like an ambulance, right? As you can see, you got the impact, the cold, and the magnetic. But then you have something like the kind of arachnoid who has proto shields, and the stats are a little bit different for proto shields, right? So dealing with those, you're definitely going to want to take in magnetic. If not magnetic, you're going to need some kind of attack that's going to bypass the shields, such as toxin, or just hit it with a absolute crap ton of damage. So increasing maximum shields, we all know how to do this. So as you can see, my Hildren, personally, I don't run Hildren with a lot of shields. I'll tell you guys why in a second. I'm actually going to get to that in just a moment. But you can increase your maximum shields with mods such as Prime Vigor. You can use Redirection. I don't know why Vitality is on there. Ignore that. You can also use Augur Core. Those are really good for increasing the amount of shields that you get. You can actually get it, as you can see, now she has 5,355, which actually is probably going to be a good segue onto the next topic, which is regaining your shields. So let's go ahead and jump into that. Now, here's the part where I was like a little confused personally. but I'm glad I read the wiki. I read this a long time ago when I was doing Railjack, and I was like, oh, okay, so the amount of shields kind of doesn't matter, right? So dragon keys and all that, that's cool, but that's not going to do anything as far as the recharge rate for the most part, and I'll show you guys in a little bit. So shields naturally recharge, but there's a recharge delay imposed whenever struck. When not damaged, partial tunnel shields will take 1 second to regenerate. So if I go out here and I get hit like partially, right, and I still have, let's say, 2,000 shields left, it'll only take 1 second for them to start regenerating. When it's fully depleted, which means I have no shields left, it'll require 4 seconds before they start to regenerate. And enemy shields take 3 seconds regardless of the depleted amount. So you shoot them, takes 3 seconds for them to start regenerating. You deplete it, takes 3 seconds for them to start regenerating. Damage from procs, such proc effects like slash or heat, do not reset the delay timer, which is really good to know. The delay, I want to repeat that actually. So damage from proc effects like slash or heat do not reset the delay timer. Keep that in mind. The delay timer is only reduced by Gauss's electrokinetic battery passive, right? And there's actually 2 conclave mods which can alter the recharge timer. Quick charge, which reduces the timer, and then vital sense bypass, which increases the timer. But we're not gonna cover those because I don't really know anybody who does conclave. If you'd like to know, leave it in the comments. I'll shoot a video on both of those actually. Here is the part that I think people need to understand, and that is shields recharge at 15 units, right? So 15, 3, 55. I'll get 15 of that, right? Plus 5% of the Warframe's maximum shields per second. So now let's put this in. Let's put that part in perspective, right? And also, just to give you a heads up, when it comes to recharge rate mods, the recharge rates take whatever that recharge amount is, and they add the multiplier to that. So if my recharge rate is, just for whatever example, 1, right? Then with one mod, I can get it up to 1.9. With all 3 mods, I can get it up to 2.3, basically, right? So let me show you what this looks like in effect when you have low shields, right? Matter of fact, let me take off Prime Vigor, so we'll have like no shields. Okay. All right, there's no shields. Let's see how long that takes to regenerate. All right, cool. So that's how long that takes. And then we're gonna pull up 5,000 shields and we're gonna see how long that takes. Keep in mind, both of these have all 3 mods: Vigilante Vigor, Fast Deflection, and Fortitude. Vigilante Vigor, Fast Deflection, and Fortitude. So there's consistency between the 2, just in case that was a question about anything. It's just this one has maximum shields. That's the only difference. All right. Now let's see how long this takes. And it's pretty much about the same amount of time. So depending on how much shield you have, kinda doesn't matter. Just in case there's any confusion about that, we're gonna pull up a Trinity. I'm just gonna pick a build without a bunch of help and do that because she has quick thinking. Come on, man. There we go. Let's see how long that takes. So let this be. Now keep in mind, I don't have the other mods on this, right? But as you can see, the amount doesn't matter because it's 15 units per second, but it's the maximum shields that's making it. That's what's really the kicker. So it's whatever your maximum shields is, it's going to be 5% of that, and then you add on your multipliers from there. So if you need the equation, it's 15 plus 0.05 open parenthesis maximum shields close parenthesis. Let me just type it out so there's no confusion. So this is what it looks like. It's 15 plus 0.05, and then max shields. So 5 right here. That's the equation if you want to figure out how much shields you're gonna get back per second. And then if you want to start adding in mods, you just take all that, and it's gonna be times 1 plus, and then whatever the mods are. So if the mods are, you got 80% plus 90% plus, plus whatever, right? That's the equation if you want to figure out what it's going to be after you put the mods on, right? So that's hope that helps whatever you guys need. So boom, that's how shields work as far as that. Let's get into the meat and potatoes of it, and that is why people are probably watching this, which is shield gating. Overshields, not going to cover that too much. I will just leave this little part out there, and that overshields will always max out at 1200 overshields, and this is 1200 additional overshields. So right now with this, I'm just going to give you an example of this. So right now Trinity has 450, right? We're going to load up a bunch of enemies, and I'm gonna just hit them until I got a bunch of shield getting, right? Now at the end of it all, it's gonna cap out at 1650. Oh, I forgot to get energy. Oh, I got energy. Okay. Why is my energy vampire not working? Doot. Wait, what? That was weird. Wait, what? What build is this? Transient Fortitude. Where's Fleeting Expertise? All right. All right. And 1650 is the cap. So the only exception to that is Harrow, who has a passive, which is called Conviction. He can get 2,400, which I'm not going to show that off, but just for informational purposes. Shield gating. I want to get into that personally. So the way shield gating works, which I'm glad I got Trinity here. Shield gating is an effect that occurs when shields are fully depleted, which prevents any excessive damage leaking into the health pool. A Warframe gains 1.3 seconds of invulnerability, 3 seconds in the case of Hildren. Allies affected by Hildren's Haven and Railjack, right? Upon hitting the shield gate. This means is Hildren gets 3 seconds, everyone else gets 1.3 seconds. If allies are affected by her Haven, they get 3 seconds. And then the Railjack, all Railjacks have 3 seconds. Only resetting when the shields are allowed to fully replenish. When they say fully replenish, this means they are fully replenished, right? This is it by any means. If the shield is still in the process of recharging after the gate is activated, the shield gate will only last for 0.33 seconds, right? Let me see. Not even 2 arcanes on her. What dual swords are you using? Twin Croaker, you have no auger mods on. Snowy, this is for demonstration purposes. I can show. I know I'm gonna get into the builds and the god modes and all that in just a second. I just wanted to cover the topic. You know what I mean? Enemies have a shield gate that lasts 0.1 seconds, during which only 5% of the damage dealt will damage their health. However, targeting weak spots will completely bypass their shield gate. Okay, with that being said, let me show off what shield gating looks like with just a Trinity, okay? This isn't a God Trinity come from the heavens can last to 1 billion whatever. This is just a thing that Trinity does. It's not some super extra clickbaity whatever. This is just how Trinity works, right? So it just so happens that we have shield gating now. So we're gonna get out these guys, okay? I'm gonna put on Link so I don't die immediately. I got my shield knocked off. I got shield gating again. I got my shield knocked off. I got shield gating again. I got my shield knocked off. I got shield gating again. I got my shield back. I got shield gating again. I got my shield back. I got shield gating again, and you rinse and repeat. And this is how it works. It's not some god whatever the heck. Like, it does not, you don't need specific anything for her to just do that. As long as you can cast her 4, you get shield gating. And it's gonna last for 1.3 seconds. There is no way of changing that. So I'm not sure where all these other videos were coming from, but that's just how she works, okay? Now, let's get into Hildren, because that is one that somebody alerted me to, I guess. Something, your chat broke, it doesn't show someone type. No, it does. Shield gating is for the Mitches, man. Come on, Frosty, we know you're saying spoon. Frosty spoon! We are not doing that today. Yeah, so, all right, so Hildren. So, what is the deal with Hildren, right? Well, the thing about Hildren is she is the shield gatekeeper, I guess you can say. And to show this off, there are 2 particular arcanes that I would recommend getting for if you want to be on this whole God this and God that, God blah blah blah, God blah blah blah. You do Arcane Aegis, and then you do Arcane Barrier. Now, if you read what both of these do, they kind of have small chances of doing what they do. So this one is Arcane Energize, but for your shield, basically. This one is Arcane Energize, but on steroids and for your shield, right? So you put those 2 on, and as long as you're getting hit, you're not gonna die. That's basically how that works. There is no ifs, ands, or buts. That's just how it works. So I'm gonna come out here, and I instantly got shields back. And this is how Hildren works. So you want your God this and God that and God blah 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 blah, right? Your clickbait, right? Here's your clickbait. So you get all of 2 arcanes, and you can literally sit here and just literally get hit by anything. Which is crazy because this actually works against infesteds, it works against everything. Infesteds are a little bit different because they don't hit as much because you got to get hit by chance. So if I start, like, let's say I lock down a couple, right? And I start killing them or whatever. If I'm only getting hit by a couple of bullets, that actually is a bad thing. You actually want to get hit by a lot of bullets, right? Come on, shoot me. Now he's got an automatic, so that's gonna work. Now let's say we pulled out a bunch of disruptors, right? Now disruptors work, but it's burst damage that this strategy doesn't really work too well against. You know what I mean? It's kind of like that flash damage that really is the kicker. Plus she's immune to magnetic, just in case you guys are wondering. Magnetic doesn't work on her. There's our shield gating. As you can see, I was taking health damage and then I died, right? So you can do it, but you're still gonna want your Magus elevates and so on and so forth. But I hope this kind of helps, and I hope you guys kind of saw what happened. Basically what was happening was I was getting my 30 per, I want to say it's percent. Yeah, I was getting 30% shield recharge on top of all those other recharges that I had going on. And then you have Arcane Barrier, which has a chance of just instantly restoring it. So that is how you, that's kind of how you do that part. But as far as shields, let me see if there's any questions in regards to shields. Hey, what's up, Bargov? How you doing? Good to see you jumped in. So I guess shield reduction, there is a way to reduce shields if you would like. Shield reduction, I'll go ahead and cover this really quickly. Shield reduction comes in handy when you're using people such as Necros. Necros, or particularly, what's his name? Wukong. So with Necros, why would you use it with Necros? Well, one reason you would want to use it with Necros is because if the shield's in the way of your health, right, then a lot of times health orbs might not drop, right? You'll be spawning health orbs, but they have a lower likelihood of dropping. So in a lot of Necros cases, you'll actually see some people equipped a decaying key. Not a decaying key, but a dragon key, which I want to say is the decaying key. It is shields, right? So with that, you'll have lower shields, which means your health is going to be getting hit more, which means you're going to be dropping more health orbs. Now you have a good rotation. Other than that, you could just get despoiled, but that puts you at risk if you're on large teams. Another person you'll see this a lot with, and when I say a lot, I mean a lot, is Wukong. This is for two particular reasons. Or actually it's because of two particular arcanes. So, well, kind of, sort of. So, I want to say, if I'm not mistaken, I believe it's primary charger and blade charger. He can flip back and forth between it. No, there was another reason. I forget why they do it with him. I think it's Avenger. Oh, it's Avenger. That's why. So with Arcane Avenger, right, he gets a 45% base critical chance, and apparently that does something to his Iron Staff that's busted or something. So with these guys, you'll see a reduced shield on him. The reduced shield is there to get Arcane Avenger to proc more often, right? So there's other things you could do. You could use cryogenic leakage, but that's only environmental. So if you go on like a cold map or something like that, then it reduces shields by 50%. But for the most part, the Dragon Key, it reduces it by 75%. That's probably going to be the best way of reducing your shields if you need to. As far as shield scaling, people may not know this, but not only was armor nerfed, but shields were nerfed as well. So we used to be a lot stronger when we were killing level 200, Corpus, but believe it or not, we're only killing about a third of what a 200 Corpus used to be. They are effectively at level 200. They're about a third. They have about a third of the shields that they have now. Okay, so now they do still have their weaknesses and stuff like that, but there's only a third of it there. So if you're hitting shields crazy, it's not your build. It's they nerf shields by like a third. Basically, it's at the same spot it used to be. Or it's at a similar spot that it is for armor, but in armor's case it's 75 where the S starts to where it starts to flatline. On shields it's at 70 where it starts to flatline. So once they hit 70, it starts to go in a straight line, right? And that straight line is really it's not really that high. So let me put it in perspective. So a level 80, right? A level 80 has only 50 less shields than a level 160, right? Let me see if that's 100, then another 100, right? Then that means a level 80 would only have 100 less shields than a level 280, right? So you're going against a 280 thinking you're doing big shit, but you're not, because it's only 100. Now, what it used to be is that a level 80 had roughly Jesus Christ, had roughly 150 less shields than a 180. And this was like a curve. It was an exponential growth. So exponentially, a level 280 would have like 1,000 shields. So, that was I don't know if it was a needed nerf. I don't know if I honestly couldn't tell you. I honestly couldn't tell you if it was needed or not. But that's how scaling works on enemies now. It's a flat line. So the higher they go up in levels, it's not exponential as it used to be, which isn't a good or a bad thing. It's not good for bragging rights, but it's not bad for the sake of, power creep, I guess you could put it. I guess is a good way to put it. So, yep. People is weak, that's why. Some people can be, yeah. So anyway, I hope this Warframe Wiki Wednesday kind of cleared up some things. As far as shield gating, it's 1.3 of invulnerability. You get a third of a second if they partially recharge. And then as far as shield gating, it doesn't have to like reset under certain conditions. You can just hit Trinity's 4 with 150 strength, then you'll instantly get shield gating back. Same thing for, you know, like if Hildren's on the map, it doesn't matter if she's on the map, you're going to restore 100% of her shields because it's 100. Let me show you guys this real quick. All right, so 150 power strength. All right, with 150 power strength, you max out her two most important abilities. This is her blessing, which gives you 75% reduction, 100% restoration, and this one, which is 75% reduction, which you cannot even change. So if you go anywhere above 150, that's probably going to be for like this build, like a EV Trinity. That's probably what it's going to be for. Outside of that, you know, just 150. There's all your heals, there's all your damage reduction. And when it says 100%, it literally means 100%. So if they have a billion shields or they have one shield, you hit that fourth, all that's coming back. Everyone instantly gets their shield getting back. There's no magic button behind it. You can literally take off everything on this build except Transient Fortitude with 1 dot remaining, and you will instantly restore shield gating to everybody on the map. It's not magic. Don't be fooled. Clickbait, right? So anyway, I hope this helps you guys, and I hope this cleared it up. For any questions, go ahead and leave them in the comments below. If you like the video, don't forget to like and subscribe. I'm not trying to spread hate. I'm trying to clear up and get the clickbait out the way so we can get to the meat, potatoes, and the truth behind the matter without having to, you know, hey sheep, follow this thing right here. Like, no, you guys are smart. You're not stupid, right? Put 2 and 2 together, just do this, and then you build it to the way that you like it. That's the purpose of all this. Without further ado, this is CS with DWP, and I will see you guys in the next piece of content. Holla, 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 pimps. Y'all take it easy. Peace. Woo!